The crazy penguin teaches you Linux. Nicksnoob.com.
Hello, welcome to Nick's Noob. In this video, I'm going to have a conversation with AI about why I should use Linux. This should be fun. Mostly this video is just to test my new microphone. And yeah, there it is. La la. All right, so I'm just going to bring up a terminal here. And we're going to talk to AI, make this a lot bigger, and then let's go llama run llama 3.2. I can really hear my typing. Oh, yeah, that's with the 2 L's, 1 M on llama. All right. Why should I run Linux? Okay, so it's giving me a big list here, and let's get it to format that as Markdown. All right, and then we're just going to copy that into Obsidian. Okay, so let's see what it said here. Freedom and customization. Linux is an open source operating system, which means you have the freedom to modify it to suit your needs. You can customize the kernel, install custom software, and even create a completely custom distribution. And that is very true. So with Linux, it's open source, and it'll probably get to that. And cost effective. Do you mention open source? I'm sure it does. Yep, since Linux is open source, blah, blah, blah. So freedom and customization. When you install Linux, you actually own it, which seems backwards because you're not paying anything for it. With Windows or, licensed software, when you license it, you're paying for the right to run it on a computer, basically. So even though you're paying for it, you don't own it. You can't change it. You can't put it on multiple computers. With open source software, it's free. You can download the source code. If you're a developer, you can modify it. You can make changes to it. You can recompile it and have your own version. And you're free to put that on as many computers as you want. And depending on the license, usually free to redistribute that as well. So you can make a derivative work, and create something new. Security. Linux is generally considered to be more secure than other operating systems. It has fewer vulnerabilities, and security patches are often available quickly due to its open source nature. Absolutely. If a vulnerability comes out before Canonical or whoever manufactures or maintains the distribution you're running, someone can submit a patch. And then if you know what you're doing, you can download that patch and compile it and help test and be like, yep, that fixed the problem for me. So you can actually help contribute back to the development of the tools you use. But that means that if there's vulnerabilities in the code, since everyone can see it, they're more likely to be found. Stability. Linux is known for its stability, which means it's less prone to crashes and errors compared to other operating systems. This makes a great choice for servers and other critical systems. Absolutely. And most web servers are Linux or BSD, either NetBSD, OpenBSD, FreeBSD. but most are probably Linux these days. Speed, Linux is highly optimized for performance, making it a great choice for computing tasks that require speed. It can be much faster than Windows or Mac OS for certain types of tasks. Absolutely. Also, because of how customizable it is, you can, run a distribution that's specifically designed to be small. Like if you want to spin up a virtual server in a cloud and run a run Linux on a VM, you can get a version of Linux that's super small, designed to be run on virtual machines. Or if you have a really old laptop, you can get a version of Linux that's designed to work, fast on really old hardware with, not a lot of memory. Cost effective, Linux is free to use, which makes it an attractive option for individuals and businesses looking to reduce their IT costs. Community support, the Linux community is vast and active, with many online resources available for troubleshooting and support. Wide hardware compatibility, Linux can run on a wide range of hardware platforms, including older machines that may not be compatible with other operating systems. Extensive software availability. While some popular software applications are available on Windows or Mac OS, there are also numerous open source alternatives for Linux, and a lot of your Windows software will run on Linux either under Wine or Steam. And then you can also run a virtual machine if you needed to install, run a full copy of Windows inside of your Linux system to run Windows programs. Flexibility, Linux is highly flexible and can run on a variety of devices, from desktops to servers to embedded systems. Absolutely. Your phone's Linux. Technically, iPhone is running a BSD kernel, but still very much the same thing. Linux learning experience. Running Linux can be a great way to learn about operating system management, programming languages, and software development. Absolutely. If you're a developer, you should be running Linux. Or, if you're running Windows, have the WSL Windows software layer for Linux installed and be, running Linux in Windows. And if you're on Mac OS, it's BSD. You've pretty much got all the tools. Learning experience, just did that one. No virus or malware. Viruses or malware. Since Linux is open source, there are no viruses or malware that can infect the operating system. Okay, this is this is AI being not, hallucinating a little bit. You can get a virus on Linux. It's just a lot harder, and there's a lot less damage it can do, typically because of the way things are sandboxed and the way user accounts are sandboxed on Linux, and the way a file can't run unless it's marked as executable, etc. If you download a file from the internet, it's not going to run on Linux automatically until you mark it as executable. So there's a lot of safeguards that make it a lot harder for a virus to do, nefarious things on your Linux computer compared to Windows. But it is possible to get a virus on Linux. Better resource utilization. Linux can optimize system resources, which means it can make better use of CPU, RAM, and other hardware components. Absolutely. If you've got a computer that you're, lying around that barely will run Windows 11, throw Linux on it and you'll have a brand new computer. Regular updates. Linux distributions often receive regular updates, which ensures you have the latest security patches and features. Yes. And the way Linux updates is fantastic. It never gets in your way. You can tell it never to update if you want it to, and it won't ever update. But because Linux can basically replace files that are in use by the system, it doesn't have to reboot in order to write files that are in use. Like in Windows, any file that's in use by the operating system can't be written to while the operating system is running, which is why Windows always does the, you go to turn your computer off and it's like, installing updates, please wait. you're just trying to turn your computer off, and your computer's is telling you, I can't turn off right now, please wait. And same thing, like you go to boot your computer and it's installing updates, please wait. Like you just turned your computer on to try to get some work done, and your computer's telling you, oh, please wait, I've got work to do before I can let you use me to get your work done. And Linux, when you tell it to update, it updates. When you turn it off, it turns off. When you turn it on, it turns on. It never has to sit there and wait to do updates. And you can run updates while you're working. So if there's updates available, you can just click on the little icon, say install updates. Let me see if there's any updates right now on this system. Let me just go. I could do that from the command line. Yeah, let's just do that from the command. Well, no, I'll do it from Discover, the default thing that comes. So here's Discover, and we just go look for updates. There's one update. Okay, so we're recording a video right now and screen sharing, and we have a terminal open and running a large language model, and we'll just say update all, and that's going to want my password, and it's doing its thing, and now it's all up to date. So that's how easy it is to update your Linux system, but and it will let you know when there's updates if you tell it to check for updates, and you can tell it how often to check. But you could also just tell it never check, and I'll just do that myself, every once in a while if you don't like, it bothering you. Let's see. High-level scripting languages. Many popular programming languages are available on Linux, including Python, Ruby, Java, C++. Absolutely true. If you're a developer or want to get into writing software, you should be running Linux. Low latency. Linux can provide low latency, making it ideal for gaming and other applications that require fast response times. I would add, if you're a music producer or play guitar or keyboard or do any kind of audio recording, that would fall into the low latency category. If you're playing guitar through an audio interface and you want to have effects on it, and you've got your headphones on, if there's any latency at all, it's really hard to play. If you're just getting, I think anything over like 14 milliseconds, 20, and or anything above that, and it's confuses your brain where you can't play guitar, right? If you've got if you've got really fast response time where it sounds, exactly what you're playing while you're playing it live, it's much easier to record. So that would be a big one as well. And then it lists out some popular Linux distributions: Ubuntu, Debian, Fedora, Arch Linux, CentOS, OpenSUSE, and ultimately the decision to run Linux depends on your specific needs and preferences. However, with its numerous benefits and advantages, it's definitely worth considering. And I could ask this the same question again, and it would give me a similar but different response. But this is a pretty good list. Anyway, I was just making this video mostly to test this new microphone, so hopefully I sound much better than my previous videos. And I hope you found this video informative. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss future content. And have a nice day.